Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy, it's a pleasure to be out here in nature this afternoon, bringing this message of emancipation to you, a message that would set you free if you would listen and realize that this message is pointing you to look inwardly to discover your true identity, to be your divinity, that you will be able to create your reality consciously. Thus, the reason why I speak to you concerning how Abdullah, Neville Goddard mentor and also my ancestor and elder, taught Neville Goddard how to operate the power of the mind's eye and what the mind's eye is really all about, and why we need to focus on this inner eye, why we need to focus on this single eye. Now, there are many people all around the world who are afraid of the single eye, or the third eye, or the mind's eye, which is the inner eye, which is the supernatural eye, which is the false eye. And the reason for that is because most people do not realize that they are a spirit having a human experience. Most believe that they are human trying to be spiritual. And one of the big reasons for that is because from a little child, and I'm speaking from experience, okay? Because that's the way how I was brought up. I was brought up to believe that the Bible is literal and that the Bible is secular history. But Abdullah taught Neville that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. That the Bible is not literal, neither is it secular history, and that it was written symbolically, and that all the stories are allegories, for they have no reference to anyone who existed thousands of years ago or any event that took place thousands of years ago. Because the whole story of the Bible from Genesis 1 to Revelation 22, it's a great psychological drama. It's all have to do with the human psyche. For everything was first a thought, everything was first an idea. So first of all, you have to understand the law of mentalism, to understand the single eye, to understand the third eye, the supernatural eye, the mind's eye. So here, Neville having a strong desire to go back to his homeland of Barbados, where he was born, having been living in America for over 12 years and never have gone back home to his family. And he was studying with our elder and ancestor, Abdullah. And Abdullah wanted to bring a message that would benefit all of humanity. Because Abdullah would have vibrated to a level of consciousness where he would have gone beyond race and creed and all the other things that have been placed in the world to keep us in separation and division, so that we will be controlled and manipulated. So here Abdullah taught Neville how to go to bed. He taught Neville how to think. He taught Neville how to act. And all of these things that he was teaching Neville was to basically teach him how to operate the inner eye, how to operate the single eye. Many refer to that eye as the third eye, but I refer it to the first eye, the supernatural eye, which is God in man, because God is man's own human imagination. How to see things through the eye of imagination, because imagination is what creates reality, and consciousness is the only reality. Okay, we are always conscious of being. And so Abdullah taught Neville this secret. And when Neville put it to work in his life and proved that imagination creates reality, when he proved that his thoughts is what is creating his reality, when he realized that he's responsible for his thoughts, when he realized that a thought is really and truly a vibrational frequency, he also discovered that the brain is a receiver and a transmitter of frequency and energy for all his energy. Therefore, he was willing to continue the work of Abdullah, because he knew that this was the biggest secret that was hidden from all of humanity, and that humanity needed to hear this message so that they can come to a place of true balance. Therefore, the entire message or lectures of Neville Goddard is pointing us towards understanding the single eye. Some refer to it as the pineal gland. Some refer to it as other names. But based on my experience, when I experience the single eye, I experience the virgin birth. I experience my true identity. I experience my true divinity. I experience the death, burial, and resurrection. So I can say, I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the resurrection and the life. I am that I am. And whatever I believe myself to be, for as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Now, with all of that teaching that Abdullah transpired prior to Neville, here am I many years later, haven't even been born as yet, expressing these same thoughts to the rest of humanity, pointing them to look inwardly and to see things through the eye of God, by believing that God is their own human imagination, the creator in man, pointing them to believe that the kingdom is within them, pointing humanity to believe Luke 17:21, which says the kingdom of God is within you, pointing humanity to experience Matthew 6:33, which says that you must first seek to know yourself first. First seek the kingdom, for the kingdom is within you. And when you discover the kingdom of God to be within you, that you will discover the secret of creation, and you'll be able to create your reality consciously. By looking, first of all, within yourself and seeing things through the mind's eye. Seeing things through the eye of imagination, the eye of God, the creator in man. So here am I, giving you that same encouragement and telling you to learn to go to bed more consciously and to be more responsible for your thoughts, to be the policeman of your thoughts and guard your thoughts, guard your mind, and be not conformed but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And whatsoever things are good, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are pure, if there be any virtue in them, I'm asking of you to think on these things by learning to see things through the eye of God. Now when you see things through your mind's eye and you see it as the eye of God, you will no longer have any condemnation or any judgment towards anyone. You will no longer have a religious mentality. You will understand that everything is teaching you how to discover true salvation to be self-realization. And you will understand what it means to eat from the tree of life. And you will understand that all who is eating from the tree of life are those who understand that everything is been stemmed from a thought. Therefore, all the works of man have to do with their consciousness, or their level of mentality, or the state of consciousness. Therefore, we realize that there is no condemnation and there is no one to condemn, but to love everyone unconditionally, showing that we understand true grace because we've learned to see things or see life through the eye of God, or through the eye of imagination, which is the mind's eye, which is the creative power in man. And that's the only thing, or the only power we can use to create. And you can use it to create constructively or destructively. So my brother, my sisters, my encouragement to you is to always see things through the eye of God and not through the eye of religion, not through the eye of academic education, not through the eye of politicians or politics, but learning to trust yourself, believe in yourself, believe in your God self, believe in your higher self, believe in the infinite, believe in the infinite mind and know that your mind is connected to that infinite mind. So with that being said, my brother, my sisters, let me just say that all of this universe is mental. And if everything is mental, then everything that is written in the Bible is taking place within man. And that is why Abdullah was teaching Neville Goddard to teach to the rest of humanity, pointing them to look inwardly to discover that their true identity is their divinity. So with that being said, my brother, my sisters, I want to thank you very much. And if what I'm saying, if it is resonating with you and you believe that all of humanity needs to hear this message, I'm encouraging you to share or to like. If you haven't subscribed already, I'm encouraging you to subscribe also, and to also follow me on Instagram at Black Mad Guru. And do not forget to check out my website also, blackmadguru.com. Now, as usual, I always remind you that this message I bring to you, it is called the single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 teaches us that if your eye be single, your whole body would be full of light. And I would have experienced what it means to awake within myself and to come, be brought from my skull and become invisible. And so I've been sent to teach the rest of humanity that they are to look within to discover their divinity. That's the reason why I always put my hand on my crown chakra and give you the sign of the single eye, letting you know that when you have the experience, you will come to realize that it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N, and that is the dawning of a new day in your life, and that whatever the sun shines upon, it brings forth in abundance, and that the sun parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun, there is no life and there is no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. And the sun is what powers all of humanity. Therefore, my encouragement to you is to use your mind power, which is your solar power, which is the creative power, to achieve your every desire. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.